Every week, the UK Parliament has a session in which the Prime Minister answers questions on national and international issues. This time it was dominated by the economy and what the government was doing to help industry and small businesses. It began with help for those affected by the economic downturn.
It is precisely because of the dangers and risks to people who are poor and unemployed that we are taking the action that we are taking, raising the pension and pension credits, raising child benefit and child tax credits, helping the unemployed and making sure that small businesses have the finance that they need. And that is part of the plan that we are adopting and introducing now, that is being adopted in many, many countries of the world to help those who are poor and unemployed, to protect savers by capitalising the banks, to ensure real help to families and businesses now, and at the same time to extend lending to small businesses and to homeowners. That is the plan that will ensure recovery not just nationally, but when it's adopted internationally.
The Prime Minister often clashed with the Conservative Party leader on this.
I've said that this is a deep recession. I've also said the truth, that it's hitting every country in the world. I think he would recognise that we were the first to act to deal with the recapitalisation of the banks and stop savers losing their money. He supported that until last week when he walked away from that position. We were the first also to recognise there needed to be a fiscal stimulus, and he will see today that countries that he often quotes, like Canada, are now announcing a big fiscal stimulus. And he will also see that it is right to extend lending. That is the way forward. Look, Mr. Speaker, we can play his game of student politics as long as he wants to play. But what the country are interested in is whether we will take the action that is necessary to get us out of the difficulties. We are taking the action. His policies would cut public investment at a time we need it. In other words, he would do nothing to help. Mr. Speaker, America went into recession more than a year ago. The euro area went into recession more than 6 months ago. This is a deep world recession. And what I would explain to him is this, that past recessions in Britain have been caused by high inflation. They've been caused, as they were in the early 80s and the early 90s, by government allowing inflation to get out of control and interest rates having to rise. He should know he was in the Treasury in the early 90s. This recession is not caused by high inflation. If anything, inflation is going to be near zero this year. This recession is not caused by high interest rates. This recession is a result of a global financial crisis.
He then turned specifically to the help being offered to Britain's car industry.
Has been a great supporter of the car industry and its development in his own city. I believe that the car industry is a sector with a strong future, and that is why we want to unlock loans of up to 1.3 billion guaranteed for low-carbon initiatives in cars. That's why we also are giving loans and guarantees up to 1 billion for lower carbon initiatives for non-European Investment Bank projects. And that's why we're also discussing training grants that would be in addition to short-time working, so that we can help those people in jobs at the moment keep the jobs. We will do everything we can to help the car industry. This is the difference. We know that in times like this, we have got to act to help. I'm not sure the Conservatives support us in this.
A Prime Minister's question time focused on economic affairs. There will no doubt be further exchanges to come.